Hi, Mark Barrett here for Cape Yachts. I'm here today to give you a walkthrough and go over some of the features of a 2008 Beneteau Oceanis 37. This is right here at the dock, so we're going to walk down the port side. One of the things you notice right away is this woodwork here. It's beautiful. And you'll also see these turnbuckles look all shiny and new. That's because all the standing rigging, including the turnbuckles, was replaced this spring. One of the great features of this boat is this wide scoop transom with a swim platform. Makes for really easy boarding, when she's backed stern into the dock as she is now, so it's real easy to get on and off. So you just step right up. You see there's a walk-through transom, really great access to the water. Close that. Let's start out by just going up to the bow, moving up the starboard side. Once again, you see this woodwork here. This is from the era when they still used real teak, and I'd really like to find out who did this varnish job. It's absolutely perfect. The decks are in great shape. Don't see any flaws anywhere. Up on the bow here, you see the Delta anchor, the Pro Furl head sail furler. You have an electric quick windlass right here. Let's see what he's got for a rode. Oh, it looks like a whole pile of chain down there. So mostly a chain rode and some rope. Some happy boaters going by here. I'm in Saquatucket Harbor. Let's go down the port side. Once again, that wood is beautiful. Let's stop here for a second and take a look at first you have a rigid boom vang. Then you have this in-mast furling system. So this has a lot of advantages, and once you use a system like this, you'd never want to go back to a hoisted mainsail. So many advantages, one being infinite reef points, ease of operation, no messing around up on deck trying to tie up a sail and put the sail cover on. It's just so easy, and they've really got all the bugs out. It works flawlessly. The only way to mess this up is some kind of human error. Here you see the Dodger too. You see that the plexi is crystal clear, and that's all also brand new this spring. Here in the cockpit, you see I put the cockpit cushions out so you could see. Underneath is all, once again, this real teak, and it's in beautiful shape. And you can see from up here, I mean, you could literally sit 10 people in this cockpit easily. The cable is another nice example of varnish work here. It's got a built-in little cooler here. You put some ice and your beers or whatever else you drink in there. These leaves fold up, so you have a very nice sized table here in the cockpit. Let's take a look at the helm. The helm, very well organized. You have your chart plotter right in the middle, and you can see you got your wind speed and direction, your autopilot right here on the right, and everything's very, here's your single lever control. It's really easy to reach from the helm. The engine panel is down here. You have the primary winches are right here, right at the same level as the helm, so this boat can easily be single-handed, not to mention there's an autopilot. But sail handling is also very easy. You can just step forward right here, and all the sail handling is done from right here on the port side. There's your traveler. Your traveler lines come right here. Your in and out for the sail. It's all right here. Very simple to operate. And right here, also right easily reachable from the helm, is the furling line for the head sail. So the sail handling on this boat is a piece of cake. And you see how clear this Dodger is, which is something, one of my pet peeves. I can't stand to look through a faded plexiglass on a Dodger, but this is just, as clear as day. And let's take a look down below. All right, well, let's start up forward again. Here is the V-berth. This is really the owner's cabin, I think. The first thing you notice is that's a real inner spring mattress. It's not a piece of foam pad that a lot of boats have, and some very expensive yachts too will just have a foam pad. This is a real inner spring mattress, and it's pretty huge. I mean, 6'5" something it looks like. And also this cabin has an interesting feature here. It has, I guess, I don't know if you would call this a vanity or a workstation, but it's a very nice setup here. You have a table with you have all this storage up above it. There's also storage below the V-berth. And then on the starboard side, there's a double door hanging locker on one side and shelves on the other. So there's tons of storage on this boat. You could easily go off on a month-long cruise, no problem. I'll leave that open. Now we'll take a look at the salon here. It's very light and airy in here. You have, obviously, these curtains can be spread out and completely close it in. When everything's open, you see the windows in the side of the hull. There's a skylight. There's another overhead hatch. And so when all these are open, it's extremely light and airy in here. A lot of headroom. There's got to be 6'3" or 4" of headroom. The beam of this boat is 12 feet 10 inches. And it draws 4 feet 7 inches. This one has the shoal draft keel, 37 feet overall. So it's very, very roomy in here. You see this table in the middle. Obviously these leaves come up and makes a big table. You could seat 6 there easily. That's it. Over here on the starboard side is the aft-facing navigation station. Let's take a look here. See the switch panel. Very, very simple, very easy to understand. It has this great gauge here, so when you want to check your water level, your fuel level, and the voltage of the batteries, that's all neatly organized. This is the AC side. Very simple. You have outlets, water heater, and the battery charger. It's a very simple panel and very well organized instruments. You have a redundant depth and speed down here. There's your stereo, your VHF, and then right above you is the microwave, so you can heat up your coffee while you're doing your navigating. And it's got the big drawer here. It's a pretty big sized table, and it also, you can look and you can see the helm right there, so you can yell up to your wife, "Hey, you're off course," right from here. You don't have to move anywhere. So from here, let's check out the galley. Double stainless sink, and they organized it so it's it's facing out this way, which allows, you know, two people to be working in the galley. So I think that's interesting, because a lot of times you have somebody at the sink doing dishes, and you can't move around inside the galley. So that's kind of an interesting setup. You see there's a drawer down here. There's always an interesting way that Beneteau organizes the trash can. And then you'll see here there's a cooler on top that, you know, you would probably fill with ice, or a block of ice if you needed to, or just, you know, dry goods. And then there's a big front-loading refrigerator right here with a freezer compartment that you can freeze meat or make ice cubes in there. And so that's a pretty good size refrigerator. And then here you have the 2-burner propane stove. It's on gimbals, you can see, so somebody can be down here making coffee when you're heeled over. And there's all these compartments all around the boat to keep bottles, to keep liquor and wine bottles. It is a French boat after all. And the covers are interesting, because they're set up in a way that they go in and then they're held in place, so they can't go flying out if you really got on that degree of heel. I don't know. And then let's see this is the aft cabin, and this is gigantic. I mean, you could literally, 3 people could literally fit back here. Once again, it's a real mattress. And another interesting thing about this aft cabin, if you see back there, there's actually a compartment for storage, and then another port on the stern of the boat. So you have a port back there, you have one here, and one here. So this cabin has 4 opening ports. So, you know, a lot of aft cabins don't get good ventilation. Well, this one, they've kind of solved that problem here. It also has a big storage locker over here on the port side. So from here, let's check out the head. The head it's got a stand-up area to take a shower using this, which is a nice feature. It also has a lot of ventilation. There's 2 opening ports and a big fixed port here, so it's very light in here. And you see these buttons. One of them is the macerator pump. That's a shower sump pump. So when you take a shower, it pumps the water overboard. And this is something I like to see as an ex-technician myself. Is just the way all the through hulls are very accessible, very well organized. You see the macerator pump right there. You know, I'm always looking. Here's the Y valve to divert the head either into the tank or overboard. The holding tank is, you can see the holding tank, that's the top of the holding tank, so the holding tank is accessible. There are these two giant medicine cabinets right here. Oops. So the head is very organized, and also I always notice right away too that it actually has the full size. I don't know if you can tell on this video, but that's a full size toilet seat. Not the little tiny one that they squeeze into most boats. And so anyway, that's a nice feature to have. And then last but not least, for all the other amateur mechanics like myself, Beneteau's done a really good job making the engines accessible. There you see the starting battery, and that's a 3-cylinder Yanmar. You can see the dipstick right there on the left, the fuel filter above it. Everything's very accessible. There's a door inside the head to get at one side of it. Plenty of access. That's this engine. The boat has a 34-gallon tank, and that engine will burn, you know, at cruising speed, a half a gallon to maybe 2/3 of a gallon an hour. So with a 34-gallon tank, you probably have close to 60, somewhere between 60 and 70 hours of range on one tank. That could be a whole season of boating. So anyway, it's a very efficient motor, very smooth, quiet. I really love it. So this, it's also very easy to get at, which is nice. The boat, I didn't mention it has a 90 gallon water tank, also, which is plenty of water for extended cruising. So let's go back up. So that's the Beneteau 37. This is a 2008. If you're interested, please give us a call at Cape Yachts. This boat we have it listed now for $139,500. So if you're interested, give us a call. I don't think she'll be around that long.